for the paid advertising group for you, Nicole. I am just going to walk you through how to do the Google AdWords section of this. So basically, if we just start at the top of the screen and go to adwords.google.com, this is going to take us into our advertising dashboard. And what we want to do here is basically this is your interactions. This is kind of like your dashboard, your costing, conversions, if you're tracking that, interaction rates, impressions, things like that. Just general information that you need to know. What we want to do is come up to the top here and click on campaigns, because we want to start a new campaign for Venture Wrench. And when this loads here, it will list out all your campaigns for you. What we want to do is go to this red button right here that says the little plus sign with the campaign in the drop down menu. So we're going to click on that. What we want to do is go down to display network. If you look here, there's search network with display network, search network only. So the search network is actually, if you go to Google, type in some keywords there, your ad will show up on that. That's very expensive. And what we want to do is really target people that are looking for information for entrepreneurs on different websites. So the display network is what we want. That's where they're on a website, they'll see our ad and click on it. So let's click on display network only. And when this comes up, it will have us select our campaign settings. So here, what we want to do, our marketing objective, build awareness, not really what we want. Influence consideration, again, not what we want. We want to do is drive action on our website. So you can either choose buy on your website or take an action on your website. For this example, I'm going to go through take an action on your website. That's more like to click through your website, get things. If you want them to buy on your website, you can click buy on your website. But again, for this demonstration purposes, I'm just going to click on take an action on your website. It should be pretty much the same whether you click on buy on your website or take action on your website. So we'll put a little check mark there. We don't want anybody to call our business or visit our business since there's no brick and mortar store. We don't want them to install a mobile app or engage on our mobile app, so that's fine. We can leave those the same. Here, it may select all countries and territories. That's not what we want, so we want to say let me choose. And so when we choose, we just want the United States. We can either remove this or do that, but basically we just want to leave it at the United States. So here, if you want to exclude any locations, like later on, if we find out that we're not converting well in Maine or Florida or something like that, we can exclude a state from our campaign, and that will be just fine. For right now, though, we'll leave it blank because we want to include everybody in the United States. We do want to click on advanced search, and that can show you basically where you like. You can click on other places if you'd like there too. Okay, what languages do your customers speak? English, that's fine. Bid strategy, we just want to do manual cost per click, embedded cost per click, cost per click. CPC is cost per click. Our budget, individual budget here, we could spend $10 a day. I think that would be a good starting place. You can always bump it up or bump it down if you find you're getting too many clicks or not enough clicks. You can bump that up and down. Okay, going down here, add extensions. Basically, this is again if you have like a brick and mortar store or a phone number that you want them to call. We don't need to do anything with that. Additional settings we do want to click on though, because we've got some things in here that we'd like to just change in order to make our ads just a little bit better. So delivery method, we can leave just a standard show ads evenly over time. We're going to be creating lots of different ads, and so we want to know which ones do best versus which ones don't do as well, so we can decide for ourselves which ones we want to keep and which ones we don't. If we clicked on accelerated, basically it would go through your ads a lot faster and show all the ads at once, and that would get through clicks, but it doesn't always do the best for conversions. Next, scheduling a start date, end date, and ad scheduling. Basically here we have dates and times that we can add for our ads to run and not run. So if we find that people are basically coming home from work and looking up, how to start a business, we can set the time for maybe 5 p.m. to 2 a.m. if we want our ads only to run till there. For right now, I just leave that alone. Ad delivery, rotation, frequency capping. We do want to do this. We obviously want to click here on ad rotation. So right now it's going to optimize for conversions. Basically, it's going to show the ad that gets clicked on the most. So what I like to do is rotate evenly, show ads more evenly for at least 90 days. That gives us a good baseline of what's really working and what's not, so we can go in and tweak our ads later on. Frequency capping, we don't want to show our ad to somebody more than about 10 times. So here we'll just click on that button and say 10. I think that's a good number. If they see our ad at least 10 times and don't click on it in that point, we really don't want to be showing our ads to the same people. So basically with frequency capping, it's going to show your ad to the same person at least 10 times from the same IP address. And if they don't click on it, they won't show that ad anymore. Okay. Device targeting, device types, specific devices, basically everything is what we want, so we can leave that the same. But if you did just want to target people on their computer or their mobile phone or tablet, we could do that. Dynamic ad setting, basically this is if we would have a like a sales page where we're actually selling product that people could buy, like a shirt or a pair of jeans. Basically it would show different ads based on the products or services that they've searched through before. Basically for now, I think that we should leave that alone. Campaign URLs, I think we'll just take this for information purposes, but you can get third-party trackers that go into your ads, so it will basically, well, all Google AdWords is doing is tracking what they're doing on other people's websites through the ad. Once they click onto your website, Google really doesn't know what they're doing on your website. So if you want to get a third-party tracker and put that URL in, it will track through Google AdWords what they do on your website as well. Can be helpful. There's lots of highly paid options for tracking, some cheaper options. Really what you want to pay for is what you get as far as tracking goes. For right now, though, I think for the majority of it, we can really see what people are doing in Google AdWords and make tweaks from there. Location options. This is really important as well. So we want to target people in our location. Right now, it's actually showing these ads to people who may be interested in our target location, which is the US. So if we want to not include people, or basically if we have somebody from the UK that types in a US website, our ad's going to be shown to them because they're interested in that US website. So we just want to click on people in my targeted location. That will stop those people from other countries viewing our ads as well and just keep them directly in the US. Same goes here with excluding people. Again, if we're excluding people from Florida or Maine or wherever our ads may not be doing that well, we can come in here and do the same thing, because right now it's showing it's excluding people who have an interest in our excluded location. So if we decide to exclude, let's say, Florida from our ads being shown there, and somebody from South Carolina that converts really well clicks on a Florida website, it will actually exclude our ad from showing them. that since we're not excluding anybody right now, it doesn't matter, but later on, if you feel that you need to exclude a specific location or city, you can also come back in here and set that preference. So next, we can put in our campaign name. I'm just going to call this Venture Wrench, just like that. It's very, very easy. You can think of a campaign as kind of the large umbrella, and then as we go into our ad groups, those are the smaller parts underneath that umbrella. So the campaign is the large global settings. Ad groups are very specific. We'll hit save and continue here and go to step 2, which is our creating an ad group. So our ad group's name, or basically naming an ad group, what I like to do is be very specific with my ads and my ad groups, because I want to create a lot of different ads that are very specific to my audience. So here we'll put how to start a business as our ad group name. Our cost per click bid, this is our basically when people see our ad and click on it, how much we're going to pay per click. So I'm just going to put 10 cents in for now. We may need to adjust it up or down based on the amount of clicks that we're getting. And you can just really go in and play with this cost per click bid, really to find out that target bid that you want to be paying per click. So here, if we get 10 cents per click, it will only go up to $10 per day and then stop showing our ads. So if we get to $10 really quickly, we're not going to go over that $10 limit that we set in step 1. So it's basically just a capping per click bid, and then our campaign is the overall budget of $10. Our landing page here, we can, what I like to do, you can either put www. or what I like to do is http://www. and we'll put in venturewrench.com. In there, it will kind of verify the landing page, and then in the next step, when we're creating our ads, it's actually going to pull content to try and help you create that ad, which is a good thing and a bad thing, but we'll get to that in step 3. Next, we want to choose how to target our ads. So display keywords, I wouldn't go with this option just because they're very broad. If somebody types in a keyword, or a keyword on a website shows up that Google searches through, your ad will show up here. It's not always the best and most targeted type of thing. Interest in remarketing, basically people will go to certain websites based on entrepreneurial type websites, and your ad will show based on an interest. Again, not the most targeted method, so we want to go down here to use a different targeting method. If we click on that, it brings this little drop-down menu. Select a targeting method, and placements would be what I'd like. You can also do demographics, again, and topics are not the most targeted people, but if we find out that our ads are converting well for people 40 and older, we can definitely type that in and do demographics. For right now, though, placements would be the most targeted type of placement that we can do. So what we want to do is there's a little button down here that says the little plus with multiple placements. We want to click on that, and then here we get to enter our websites that we want to specifically advertise on. So we'll go up to our research. Here we have our list of websites. We're just going to highlight and copy that. And then when we get down to the bottom here, we will copy those, and then we can just paste them right in. So one website per line. Typically you can, if you find a specific page in the future that you'd like to advertise on, you can put in something like this, the full URL. Sometimes it doesn't always accept it, which is a little bit frustrating, trying to go back and find, if there's a space or a comma in here somewhere where that typo is. It's a little fidgety. So what we've done is just shorten it down to the main website. So what we can do now is just click the add button. It will add all of our placements in here when we've got 82. And then you can see our weekly available impressions. So these are people that might see our ad. 500 to 1 billion impressions is quite a bit. So what we're going to do is really target our audience by the ads that we create. Obviously, we don't want 500 million people clicking on our ad. Not that we're going to get that many, but we do want to make sure and really target those people that are interested in our services. So we'll do that through our ads. Next, we'll just go down to save and continue. We'll continue on to step 3, which is creating our ads. Okay, and here again, like I said before, very specific ads for our ad group. So I only create 1 or 2 types of ads per ad group. This is just to make sure I keep everything nice and organized, and it also helps me track better what's working and what's not. So here, I'll put something like looking to start a business, which is actually too long. So we'll have to modify that a little bit, and you can see you only have 25 characters here. So we'll put something like starting a business. What I also have learned in the past is that it's a little more eye-catching if you capitalize the first letter of each word in the entire sentence. So starting a business fits. Here we have a long headline with 90 characters. So we can put, if you are looking to start a business, we can give you the to make it successful. So let's correct my spelling here. Okay, perfect. So now, again, the description, I would just copy and paste the exact same thing. Oops, which I still spelled wrong. Okay, obviously I don't know how to spell. I'll just go to my for sure spell check. Okay. You don't always have to use up to 90 characters, but it definitely can make a difference depending on what people are looking for. So again, if they're looking for how to start a business, basically we're matching what they're looking for on those different websites, maybe information for starting a business, and our ad will show up with starting a business. So that's just one thing that we can definitely keep track of. So our business name, we'll put Venture Wrench in there. Okay, our final URL, or basically where we want to take them to. Here we can actually play with this a little bit, and if we want to go to like page 2 or somewhere else, it will take them there, but the display URL will still be Venture Wrench under our business name. So it can be a little bit deceiving where you're clicking on, but just keeping the URL short in the business name here is good. The final URL you can play with a little bit more. You don't want to make it totally different. If it's something like, you're taking them to Forbes.com, Google would catch that and say, wait a minute, you're saying one thing and then taking them to another place. So we want to make sure that they are very closely aligned. Okay. Also, I forgot one step here. We can add images. So if we click on the image button, it's actually going to pull up images from your website. You can upload your own images here. You can buy stock images if you want. Recently used images, it will kind of save the images that you've used last. One thing that's really good to do in advertising is show faces. People just relate better to faces rather than just a blank picture. One thing you want to make sure and not do is actually show pictures of money. Google AdWords has a policy against that, so don't try to show any images with money or the dollar sign, anything like that in it. But like this, I think is a good image. Oh, we'll click on it, and then we'll also click use image all ratios. So basically, we can modify the image a little bit for different formats, and this is going to be for things like tablets and mobile devices that just have a different aspect ratio than computers do. So here we'll click continue. It's going to load those images right there. We can click save, and then it will display in our ad as well, starting a business. So if the website you're advertising on doesn't have an image spot available, it will actually take the image off for you. If it does have a spot that has an image, then it will insert that image in there as well. So what you'd want to do is create another ad. I at least try and create 2 ads per ad group. That way I can test one ad against the other, but I'm not going to change them a whole lot. So instead of our headline being starting a business, it might be want to invest in yourself. Well, actually that's a bad idea. It would be something like own your own business. So I would still kind of keep with that business word theme. In a different ad group, that's where I would put, looking into an entrepreneur or something like that. But you want to kind of keep with the same keywords or themes for every ad group that you do. Try not to stray too much, and it just keeps things a little bit nicer. So what we're going to do, we're just going to click done here, and then we're going to save our ad or ads that we've created. Okay, great. Next, we can create another ad group. Again, I would do this for a different keyword that you're trying to go after. So it might be something like help with financials, or we could do something like legal advice, different ad groups for different topics. And that way we can really track what's doing best versus not so good, and what ads are not working or what keywords are not working. For now, we want to just go ahead and click go to my campaign. Basically, it's going to be up and running after that point. So this little green dot here says that it's enabled and ready to go. If you find something's not doing so well, maybe it's spending a lot of money, or you just want to pause it to work on a few things, you can always pause your campaign. And if you are done with that particular campaign, let's say it's a total bust and it's this particular ad group is not doing well, we can remove it. Typically, I don't recommend doing that, though, just in case you ever want to look back and say, well, this is what I've tried, this worked and this hasn't. Typically, I like to keep those just to remind myself what didn't work, so I can steer away from that and focus more on what works. So basically, all you need is the enable and pause button here. Again, it's going to show your default cost per click bid here, and then your click-through rate is CTR. Impressions. An impression is basically when someone is looking at your ad but not clicking on it. So they can see your ad but not clicking on it. Obviously here, clicks, we have how many people have clicked on your ad, the average cost or the total cost right now, average cost per click. So Google will also optimize your clicks. So if 10 cents is going to be too much and a click is only worth 5 cents, they'll actually bump it down for you to be at 5 cents, which is really great. So average position, it will show you what your average position in the ad group is, or groups of ads. Usually there's about 3 stacked on top of each other. Conversions, if you have that third-party tracking, this is basically the information that's going to go through there. Okay, you should be good to go. So if you want to start making ads and pause this video, follow along, feel free. I know I went through a lot of information very, very fast. So I think doing a live walkthrough will actually help you out a little bit more with this. And I hope to talk to you soon. Thanks.